Vito Scaletta may have cars, guns, booze, and babes, but you probably wouldn't want his life. Mob life is brutal. Friends can turn on you if the pay is right, prison is always a step away, and simple jobs turn into murderous mayhem in a heartbeat. Mafia II lets you step into Vito's shoes, so this is a good chance to explore the world of organized crime from the safety of your living room. And you'll want to take that chance because Mafia II is a great game with a fantastic, twisting story that will really pull you in and get you involved. It also delivers 3 solid pillars of gameplay: great shooting, great fisticuffs, and great stealth. All of this in a detailed and attractive world that in most ways captures the spirit of the 1940s and the 50s. It's unfortunate that the open world never comes into its own. Mafia II puts you into a good-sized city but doesn't give you much to do in it outside of the story. You spend a lot of time driving back and forth doing odd jobs and watching cutscenes, and not enough time doing the fun stuff like shooting and punching. Luckily, when the game delivers, it delivers big time. The shootouts are fun, the environments are awesome, and great voice acting make the characters seem like authentic men and not caricatures. It's too bad that the open world acts as a great big tease, but Mafia II is still an adventure worth taking. But a quick warning, Mafia II is a story-heavy game. We've taken great lengths to avoid spoilers, but if you're sensitive to spoilers and plan to play Mafia II, view with caution.
Consider this a warning. You touch my sister again, I will f***ing kill you. Alright? Yeah! From now on...
Mafia II's story is its biggest draw, so if you like a good story, this is a game you should be playing. You play as Vito, who is slowly making his way up the ranks of the family with his friend Joe Barbaro. Joe is a fun sidekick, and he and Vito have a nice camaraderie. The story takes a lot of twists and turns as you go from doing the small gigs, like jewelry store heists, to putting a bullet between someone's eyes just because you're told to. Vito is a great character. He's conflicted. At one point, he asks his chum Henry if he ever thinks he chose the wrong line of work, but you know he's really asking himself. He's torn between his flesh and blood family and chasing worldly pleasures. He knows the consequences of his choices, but he's in too deep to turn away. Great dialogue and great voice acting really bring the extended cast to life, and you'll grow to care about them. It all leads to an interesting and bittersweet ending that doesn't resolve much and might leave you rather unfulfilled, but while it doesn't come to much of a conclusion, this journey is one well worth taking.
Hey, how'd you get in here?
Follow the f***ing yellow brick road.
Empire City is where you spend most of your time, and it's a great place to be. The initial chapters take place during a winter in mid-1940s, and it's like a living Norman Rockwell painting. Men roam the sidewalks smoking cigarettes and wearing fedoras. Old-timey vehicles honk, policemen patrol with their hands clasped behind their backs, and wartime propaganda fills the radio waves. When the clock pushes you into the 50s, the vehicles become more slick and powerful, your best friend Joe decorates his place with pink flamingos, and many other touches transform the town. The music gets you into the swing too, though some of it is anachronistic. Your car radio might play songs that weren't out for 6 or 7 years. But regardless, Empire City is a wonderful town filled with lots of details. There are minor visual differences among the platforms, but whichever you choose, you get a lovely visual experience stuffed with small delights. It's too bad that this world doesn't give you more to do. PlayStation 3 owners get some Day 1 downloadable content, which is a series of side missions you play as another character. Most of these missions are quite good, particularly the ones that focus on the shooting, and you earn a score that you can show off on the online leaderboards. Otherwise, don't expect the kind of open-world mayhem you'd find in a more complete game like Just Cause 2 or Grand Theft Auto 4. You can rob stores or sell cars for extra cash, but you don't really need the money. You can take weapons and ammo from the guys you kill so you don't ever need to buy them. You can buy some new clothes, but there aren't tons of choices, and there aren't any side missions to take, so map markers for payphones and other locations seem like a tease, since they're rarely useful. You'll mostly just move from one story mission to the next, which in the early hours involves a lot of driving and busy work. You load crates, hand out cigarettes, drive across the map to the location of the next cutscene, and so on. Occasionally, you'll wish that there was more to do, if only so you could get a bit more action. Fortunately, the action is so excellent that you'll be inclined to forget the drawbacks. There are 3 main mechanics tying the action together: shooting, fighting, and stealth, and they're all fantastic. The gunplay is like what you'd find in a third-person cover shooter. You'll most often take cover behind a wall or pillar and pop out to fire your Tommy gun or your Magnum. The guns feel powerful, and great animations and sound effects make every shootout feel fun and exciting. It's unusual that you have to press a button or key to get out of cover, but it's rarely an annoyance. Each shooting sequence is fantastic. Destructible environments and scripted events like fires make many of these shootouts incredibly thrilling. but the hand-to-hand combat and stealth sections are almost as great. The camera is a little clumsy when you're beating on your victims, but once again, great sound effects and animations make for punches that feel really forceful. As for the stealth, it's too bad there aren't more sneaking sections since this element is surprisingly full-featured. You can choke dudes from behind and move bodies around, and the AI is smart and consistent.
Be right there!
Outside of the action, you spend a lot of time driving around and doing less exciting stuff. Sometimes the story gives these mundane tasks a cool sense of urgency. Driving a friend to the doctor feels a lot more urgent when his life might be on the line after all. On the other hand, even great storytelling can't make handing out cigarettes or mopping up a puddle all that thrilling. But at least the driving is great, striking a good balance between authenticity and fun. You'll even engage in some cool car chases, with Joe hanging out the window shooting up your target. Just be warned, weird occurrences like the police arresting the guy you're pursuing could break the mission. And so there are bits of Mafia II that might disappoint you. Because it doesn't give you much to do, the open world feels like a big tease. And because the action's so good, you wish you spent more time doing the good stuff and less time on driving around doing boring odd jobs. But when the action gets hot, it's really hot. The shooting is satisfying and some of the missions are incredibly exciting. And the melee fighting and stealth are equally fun and rewarding, so no one element feels incomplete. And of course, it's all wrapped in a story that showcases mid-century mob drama in all its violent madness. Empire City is a place that action junkies and story lovers alike should spend some time in.
Eric, what the f*** you think you're doing? I'm busy here, okay? Get lost.
I think you should be busy taking care of your wife, asshole.